Boys, welcome back to another episode of the Barbers United Fantasy Football League podcast. And I did it again. Your boy is back on top, number one in the league, highest score 2 weeks in a row. This has never happened before, so I really don't know how to contain myself. But the good news is we had a lot of points this week in fantasy football, a lot of points. I was looking here and our top three scores, which oddly enough were myself, Marcos, and Dalton, the three here.
Yes, sir.
We only bring the best for you guys. You guys demand that. And so, but the highest three, even Dalton, all three of us outscored week one's number one score, which was like Lucas at like 140. So there was a lot of points this week. So fun week for fantasy football. Obviously, we had the Dolphins and Tyreek Hill going nuts. And of course, Raheem Mostert and Devon A-Chain on my bench dropping 51. But I can't be mad about that. A lot of people ask me like, dude, he's on your bench. Like, were you upset? No, dude, you can't be mad. Like, in what world were you starting Devon A-Chain? Like, you have to be in such a deep league with literally no other options to have had started him last
like
week.
A 16-man league.
Yeah.
How could you possibly predict
There's no way
that A-Chain was going to go off?
0 points. We didn't even dress week one and had 1 point week two. Like, there's no way you could have predicted that.
Yeah, and then
so I wasn't even upset. I wasn't mad at all. I had Raheem Mostert in my lineup, so that made it feel a little bit better, but can't be mad about that. But there was a lot of points.
I would have started him, but I'm just manager of the year, so.
Welcome to Marcos for being in this week. He is currently number one on the standings, and so he came in to humble me a little bit and let me know that despite my great 2 weeks, he's been doing this for 2 years. So, well, let's jump into last week's review, guys. Let's look at these scores. Dalton, you want to walk us through it?
All right, last week's matchup, we had the Daltonius Daddies over CD's TD's 153 to 125 for my first win of the year. Only Fades beating Team JM Landrum 167 to 83 as a beatdown. Catalina Wine Mixin losing to Marcos Trap Daddy Thatcher 122 to 160. The Cooper Scoopers beating Team MJ Burley 144 to 100. Team T Shet dropping to the Book of Mormoms 108 to 137. And for our game of the week, we had Big W Shuts pulling off his first win of the season over Team J Money 118 to 101.
He gets to keep the W in his name there, Big W Shuts. He gets to keep it. We were going to make him change it to L if he had lost again, but he gets to keep it. And for a guy that texted me midway through Sunday and asked if he could just forfeit his team completely, he bounced back and had a decent week.
Is that a real text you really got?
Real text.
I think halfway through Sunday, his team had about 65 points.
Is that what it was?
It might have been even late Sunday. His team had about 65 points. Devontae Adams, I think
really
saved him.
Really saved him big time. I'll pull up the text here so you can see it. But yeah, Devontae Adams dropping 42 points. Incredible. There were so many people that dropped 30, 40 points out of nowhere. Devontae Adams is capable, but normally you have like one person do that a week.
Right.
And for there to be like 5 or 6 people to do that was absolutely insane. But yeah, he saved him. And his exact text was, is it even possible to just forfeit in fantasy? And my response was, you still might win. He said, maybe. And he won.
And he pulled it off.
He pulled it off.
Much needed win.
Yes, much needed win. He gets our superlative this week for as far as me, you guys can have your own votes. He's my biggest winner this week because 0-2 staring at 0-3. That's brutal. He pulled it off. He's got to win, and maybe it turns it around for him. I can't believe he still starts Justin Fields every week. He's insane. Once again, scores him 11 points. I hope he doesn't do that again, but you know what? Sometimes he can't help himself.
Yeah. I think he's
the dub.
Right, exactly. I think he's my biggest win. Yeah, I think he's my biggest win.
He's tied with yourself, dude. Let's talk about your team real quick. The Daltonius Daddies were also staring at 0-3.
Yeah, man.
It was not looking good.
No, it wasn't.
And he bounced back and did it. He got his first win, and he put up 153 points. And your team has some life. They showed some blood there. Yeah. So how are you feeling?
Thank God for Tank Dell.
Yes.
And honestly, I didn't see this happen very last second. Zay Jones got scratched. So I had to make a last minute pickup for my final flex spot.
Okay.
And I picked up Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who went for
Don't say that name around Marcus.
Yeah,
a lot.
That's wild.
Don't
Picking
say
up
that
Clyde
name.
Edwards. I was noticing, I was watching the scores, and he did score. I mean, he got over 10.
I think he punched a touchdown
for a flex.
Yeah.
That's really all you can ask for in our league.
Yeah.
As deep as it is.
For someone that invested so much in
Clyde Edwards-Helaire on Edwards-Helaire 2 years
so many times.
So I stay as far away as possible from him.
I can't say I blame you. Like, even as a Chiefs fan, I'm like, I watch him sometimes and I'm like, why is he getting the ball? He can't play. Hey,
paid off for you.
Yeah, it paid off this week.
He did better than Derrick Henry this week. So
yeah, dude, Derrick Henry, what happened to him?
Goodness.
2 points?
We're going to talk.
Has he ever had a performance that bad in
It
his
was
career?
awful.
So I don't think so. So that's so bad to have invested that much money in him too.
Yeah.
2 points. And I guess that's a good transition to give us our biggest loser of the week. Has to be Mark.
Yeah, it's got to be Mark, man.
Mark, I mean, 0-3, and he's about to go up against, we're going to talk about this a little bit later in the video, but he's going to go up against Marcos, the juggernaut, so that doesn't look very good. I mean, it's not even just the loss, it's just kind of how he's losing, you know what I mean? When Derrick Henry puts up 2 points, it's just like Derrick Henry, and then Mark Andrews puts up 7.5. Mark Andrews has been almost irrelevant this year for as much as
he didn't play for
not
what,
only
2
that,
games?
but I mean, he has Lamar,
I
Mark Andrews, and he has, I was looking through the other day, there was another player on the Ravens.
Zay Flowers.
Yeah. I don't know if I like that. 3
I don't like
players.
to stack like that, man. I just don't.
Nobody on his lineup put up more than 20. No one put up more than, or besides Lamar, none of his skill players put up more than 15. Not looking good. I can relate. You guys have a different biggest loser? Anyone else?
I think being the only 0-3 person in the league, it kind of can't give it to anyone else. I know you, for some reason, have a vendetta against Mark. So you're probably enjoying it.
I'm loving it.
But yeah, I would have to say biggest loser. Probably
he's been pretty quiet this week. I haven't got too many texts from him, so
yeah, I probably would be too.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, dude, after how much I hyped up my team, if I would have lost and gone 0-3, I may not be on the podcast today.
Thin Ice. Who do you guys got for Thin Ice?
It's Mark. It has to be Mark, man. He's the only 0-3 team.
Yeah, going up against me this coming week, I'd probably say the ice is already broken.
Oh, he'll fall through it.
0-4.
Yeah, very, very small, very small margins for him after this week if he does not pull this one off, pull off the greatest upset. But it's possible, right?
Anything's possible.
It's possible.
Anything's possible.
It's possible, but
not probable.
It's not looking good, man. It's not looking good.
With that being said, let's look at the standings. We have a lot of people jumbled up. We've got, obviously, we have Marcos at the top still, undefeated, the only undefeated team left. And then at the bottom, you have Mark, who's the only guy that hasn't got a win yet. But everyone else is either 2-1 or 1-2. 5 each. And so from the top all the way down, we've got Marcos at number 1, myself at number 2, Lucas at number 3, Peyton at 4, Ty at 5, Jake at 6, Dalton at 7, Braden at 8, Blake at 9, John at 10, Schutz at 11, and Mark at 12. Dalton, you made the biggest leap. You and Peyton both moved up 4 spots this week. Gotta feel good about that.
Yeah, man, it feels good to win. It just feels good to be like back in the win column. Especially, I looked at the 3 teams I've played like 3 of the hardest teams. Like my schedule could only be harder if like I played y'all 2 in week 2 and 3. You know what I mean?
You literally played like 1, 2, and 3.
I've got a gauntlet going on right now, man.
Well, let's, you want to move on to this next week?
Before we do that, I just want to acknowledge that I'm the number 1 team, and I was complaining to Jonas last night about this. Going into this week, I've had the least amount of coverage out of every team in this league, and I feel like that's disrespectful. I'm just throwing that out there.
We'll mention you a little more. We'll bring you back in.
There's nothing that needs to be said.
I know. When you're at the top, people get used to it. They expect greatness. It's
dude, like the scoreboard speaks for itself right now for you.
Still disrespect.
The media doesn't cover Georgia. Does the media talk about Georgia?
No.
The media does talk about Patrick Mahomes, though.
They do.
They talk about Travis Kelce
and Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm at that level in this fantasy football league.
On to next week. Cut this man off, somebody. So let's go ahead and look at these waiver wires at additions. And nothing too crazy this week. Obviously, Josh Palmer was the number 1 name, whether it was him or Quentin Johnson for most people's leagues. And Josh Palmer was the number 1 for us because Quentin Johnson was already on a roster. Mike Williams goes out for the season. And so Tide proceeds to drop him and replace him with his replacement. Josh Palmer spends $27 on him. Not a bad deal. I don't feel either type of way for Josh Palmer. I think he's a good receiver. I don't think he's ever going to be a great receiver, but I don't think he's going to be bad. I think he'll be a solid pickup. So that's really the only one that's really worth mentioning. There were a couple other small pickups, but I would say outside of Josh Palmer, everything else is pretty much everyone's rolling with what they got this week.
I like Josh Palmer because he's a Tennessee kid.
Of course.
I don't like Josh Palmer because he plays for the Chargers. But also, like, if there's one thing you can count on with the Chargers, what's wrong with the Chargers? Yeah.
The Chargers are Marcus's team right now.
Oh, man.
He's rolling that Justin Herbert, Keenan Allen stack.
Justin Herbert's going to get that job taken from him here in a couple years.
By who?
Bo Nix.
Whoa. Okay.
Anyway, but the thing you can always count on with the Chargers wide receivers is they're going to get hurt early in the season and not play the rest of the year.
Oh,
Keenan Allen's got what, 2 more weeks left before he's got a season-ending injury. It's what, like 3 years in a row. I mean, like we'll see it in about 4 or 5 weeks with Lamar. It just is what it is. I'm surprised Christian McCaffrey's still playing.
Bo Nix probably will still be in college by the time that Justin Herbert Herbert retires, so there's a chance that could happen.
All right, our week 4 matchups. We have the Catalina Wine Mixin taking on Team T-Shet, CD's TD's taking on Team J Money, Marcos Trap Daddy Thatcher taking on Team MJ Burley, Team J&. Landrum taking on Big W Shuts, and the Daltonius Daddies taking on Cooper Scoopers.
Let's look at these week 4 matchups. Let's make our predictions. In case anyone else wasn't keeping track, I have been keeping track, and I am currently 11-1 in my predictions. I've only messed up 1 time on these picks, so if I say it, it's pretty much good as gold. Shout out to Shuts for messing up my perfect streak. John letting me down, but oh well.
I got that one right.
New week. So who do we want to go first?
Catalina Wine Mixin versus Team T-Shet.
This one's going to be a good one. I'm actually going to lean toward Braden on this one.
Ooh, whoa, really?
Yes.
Whoa,
you guys.
I'm not. Nothing against Braden, but I think Ty just lost.
Listen,
right?
The problem with Ty, though, is the quarterback situation, man. Anthony Richardson still has yet to finish a game. He didn't even play last week. He'll be questionable. I think he will suit up. They're playing against the Rams. Rams have been pretty good. He takes a hit from Aaron Donald. He might be out in the first quarter. So that is a possibility. Second off, he picked up Russell Wilson to be his replacement. I don't trust Russell Wilson. Do you guys trust Russell Wilson?
I don't trust Russell Wilson.
Exactly. And so you've got Patrick Mahomes versus Anthony Richardson for a first half and Russell Wilson. So who are you taking? I'm taking Patrick Mahomes.
I'm always taking Patrick Mahomes, let's be real.
So I'm going to go with Braden on this one. Pull off the upset. I like Ty's team. I think he's really good. He's gonna make noise toward the end of the season, but it's not going to happen until Anthony Richardson gets healthy and can finish games.
As much as I would love to see a Braden dub, just to put that differentiation between me and Ty at the top, I'm going to have to go with Ty on this one. I was a little nervous about Braden's team last week, but then once the game started rolling, I was not too impressed with the output. His team actually scored a decent amount, but I'm going to go with Ty.
I'm also going with Ty. Next up, we've got CD's TD's versus Team J Money. I'm going to go first on this one. I kind of snuck Blake this last week. I think he's going to get his get back. I think Blake's winning this one. CD's TD's.
Yeah, I mean, in the rankings, this is number 9 versus number 10, 2 1 and 2 teams. But in my head, this is a world of a difference, and Blake wins this one easily.
Yeah, I don't see much competition after John's performance last week, so we're gonna go with Blake.
Clean sweep on Blake.
Next, we've got the Daltonius Daddies, myself, taking on the Cooper Scoopers.
This one could have been game of the week, Dalton. This one's pretty good. You guys are literally 50-50 on the predictions as far as what they are on the projections.
As it stands right now.
On the sleeper app, as it stands right now. You had a really good week last week. How you feeling?
I feel good, man. My thing is now I've won a big one in a big way, and I feel like I'm not losing again. Now, is that going to happen? Is that going to happen? I'm going to lose again. Let's be real here. But until it happens again, I'm picking myself every single week.
Here's my question.
We're getting this dub.
You're running back 2 spot. What are you going to do? Because you have Tony Jones in there. I know you don't really like Tony Jones. Kamara's coming back.
And Kamara's coming back, and he's going to come back in a big way. I don't know if anybody follows him on Instagram.
For your running back 2 spot. Tony Jones, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Myles Gaskin.
Isn't he still on the IR?
He's on your roster.
Yeah.
That's your options.
I forgot Myles Gaskin was still there.
That. You can't feel good about that.
I mean, I don't. But my like philosophy with fantasy football is it starts and ends with your wide receivers.
Okay.
I've got a philosophy.
I thought it started in with your tight end because your game day strategy.
Okay, but let's be real. My tight end is a glorified wide receiver. Let's be real. Let's be real. My tight end is a glorified wide receiver.
Here's what I say: you do have Justin Jefferson on your roster. That always means you can win.
Well, we're not going to act like DK Metcalf hasn't had a good season.
He's had a good season.
Travis Kelce's got Swifty magic.
He does, and it's a Sunday night game. All the spotlight. You know, everyone's talking about it in New York. Biggest city in the country. You might actually have a chance to pull this off. I'm going to go ahead and pick Peyton, though.
You're wrong for that.
Your running back 2 spot is not, and that's at your running back 1 spot is James Cook, who I would much rather be your running back 2.
Hey, Tony Jones will get me 3 points. So that's all I need. That's all I need. That's all I need. Tank Dell will go and get me 25 again. We'll be good.
Ooh. I'm 11-1 for a reason.
Yeah, it is 50-50, so it's hard. I mean, I think Peyton's team obviously has had a lot of injuries. I was impressed with his roster at the beginning of the year, but I'm only on here once, so you know what? I'm going to go with Dalton. Why not?
Let's go.
You probably should be talking to your opponent this week and try to get one of his 25 running backs that he has, because he currently has Madison, Connor, Moss, Ford, Eckler, Mitchell, Algier, Jalen Warren. So why don't you go get one of them from him?
I might need to go get one of them.
That's what, yeah. Everybody hit up the Cooper Scoopers if you need a running back. Dude, that's crazy. It's all running back.
Yeah, it is, dude. Also, speaking of running backs possibly being up for sale, if anybody wants to come by A-Chain, he is available. But it is going to take like a top 10 running back or wide receiver to get him, because he is currently the number 5 running back. So
that's insane, dude. One good week, right?
I'm open to talk.
I feel like it's a low running back year. Not a lot of production from what
unless you have Mostert and A-Chain. I have 2 top 5 running backs.
Dude, that might be more points like in 1 week. That might be more points than like all the other running backs.
He's number 5 in the rankings, and he's only had 1 week of
Dude, that's outrageous. Our next matchup is Marcos Trap Daddy Thatcher taking on Team MJ Burley.
And he wonders why we don't talk about his team much, because there's nothing to be said here.
Last week, there could have been something.
There's nothing to be said here.
You're right. I don't like to underestimate anyone, especially in auction league, because, I mean, you never know. No one would have thought that the Dolphins would put up 70. So, I mean, I don't want to say it's going to be a blowout, but I'll be very shocked on Sunday if I am not up by 50.
I think you win this one more than convincingly, and I'm picking you.
Enough said. Marcos.
Yep. Next matchup, we've got Team JM Landrum taking on Big W Shuts.
Very similar to Marcos's. I'm taking Jake.
Really?
Yes.
Without Nick Chubb.
Without Nick Chubb.
JM Landrum, I think, wins this one.
Come on, guys. Really? Are we talking about this?
Yeah,
He's got Justin Fields, man. Like,
I'm also taking Jake. I just wanted to act like it was
I don't know what are you guys looking at me like this for?
All right,
this man had 60 points until Devontae Adams stepped on the field. Yeah. I mean, it's possible Devontae Adams could do it again.
Jalen Waddle could be back this
He's got it. You got to play Burrow. You got to play Burrow. He's got Burrow on his lineup. Burrow played better.
How many points did Burrow get last week? Burrow looked good.
Burrow did better last week. He's got to make that switch. If he makes that switch, then there's a chance. But I don't know if his love for the Bears will let him do that. So
that is the hard
love for the Bears has to be abandoned at this point. Pick a new team.
100%.
Yeah, people that live in Chicago don't even love the Bears anymore, man.
Yep.
And that does bring us to our game of the week. Our big game of the week is with Jonas Only Fades and Lucas the Book of Mormoms. This is going to be a good matchup. This is going to be a good one.
Showdown. I cannot believe the projections have me losing at this moment, but we'll prove them wrong.
I mean, the projections have you right now 49% to 51%. That might as well be 50-50.
I need that edge, though. My guys like that edge. We like to be the underdog. Use that to our fuel.
You need to send some of your players some DMs.
Yep.
Be like, look, I need you this week.
Oh, they got me.
They sleep on us.
They got me. Raheem Mostert. Should I put A-Chain in my starting lineup?
Yes.
Yes. Come on.
If we're going purely off of like how'd they look last week, yeah, absolutely, you got to put them in there. But like I don't know.
All right, let me ask you a question.
2 weeks ago, if somebody said, "Hey man, put in A-Chain,"
would you guys trade Jahmyr Gibbs and Mike Evans to get AJ Brown?
Jahmyr Gibbs and Mike Evans for AJ Brown. Yeah, maybe.
With your roster, probably not.
Here's the thing: I need a wide receiver 1.
But who are you going to put at running back?
Oh, I've got A-Chain.
You're riding with A-Chain the rest of the year.
No, but I got Raheem Mostert. If Mostert goes down, then A-Chain goes in. Me and Lucas, I cut Lucas's hair yesterday, and we were talking about some potential trades.
You're not going to
do it this week. I'm not going to do it this week. I'm not going to do it this week. But down the line,
that's a rookie move, trading with the guy that you're about to play. That's always a fleece.
I'm not going to do that. Always. But, later on down the line, we might have to. Someone's got to beat Marcos.
Yeah, I'm against the Lucas and you trade in general for the whole season.
I'm not so who mad you guys at the trade.
Tell me who you're picking. You guys are going to fall in love with this Dolphins offense and take Tua and Tyreek Hill?
It's so many Dolphins players on both these teams, man.
For
I'm
me,
only playing one.
One of you guys is going to end up 2-2 either way.
So that just makes you happy? That alone?
Yeah, I'm good either way. I'll probably, for your sake, I'll pick you just because.
Thank you.
you're new to the winning club, so we'll hope you stay there for now.
If I win 3 weeks in a row, that might be a first ever.
I will say, I was not worried about your team going into the season.
That hurts.
You guys have made some noise. So
And that's that Aaron Rodgers went out.
I'm a little nervous now.
Jordan Love magic. We're riding it, baby. In my Chiefs defense, I'm playing the Chiefs defense. Come on.
The Chiefs defense
Come
will be fine.
on.
Chris Jones is going to tear Zach Wilson apart.
Come on, Dalton. I know you like to see
Anyone
that. Does he
is
have
gonna
any
tear
Chiefs in his
Zach Wilson
lineup?
apart.
No,
Does
he
have any
doesn't.
Chiefs?
No, he doesn't. But
Okay,
here's the thing.
Come
Here's
on.
the thing. I am going to pick you to win this one.
Enough said. End of discussion.
But-
Period.
But okay, period. Period. New sentence. But I think I just have PTSD from the Cowboys defense in week 1, man.
Bro, the
Whenever-
Cowboys just lost to
They
the
did.
Cardinals. They just
I
lost to
think
Josh
Diggs
Dobbs.
as
Right,
well.
so they're
James
gonna
Conner.
be
They
mad.
lost to Josh Dobbs.
That's
I know.
embarrassing.
Hey, Josh Dobbs is nice though, but
That's a stretch.
yeah, I love
I'm
my
happy
Tennessee
for him.
guys. I love my Tennessee guys.
I like him. He's a former Steeler.
It's one of those. This is one that like you can't be sure that you've won until that thing says 100. That's how I feel about
I
Lucas's
feel like
team
that's
this
the
year.
majority of games, though, for the most part. I mean, Schutz was way out of it
That's fair.
Sunday. Monday bounced back.
So you're telling me that if you're up 98 to 2% to Mark, you're going to be nervous?
Mark, that's another story. I was nervous with Braden all week, and even though my team was up quite a bit, so
That's
we got,
fair.
We got
That is
3
how
for
it
me,
goes.
right? All 3 of us are picking me?
Yeah, I'm picking you.
Yeah.
There we go. So that'll do it. We'll go ahead and wrap this up, boys. Appreciate you guys. Marcos being here, Dalton being here as always. And we will see you guys next week. I will be 3-1, and maybe Marcos loses to Mark, and I'll be number 1 in the standings.
4-0, baby.
Imagine.
4-0.
It's not gonna happen, but
imagine.
imagine.
You never know.
Anything
Let's
is
not
possible.
say it's not going to happen.
It probably won't
It
happen.
probably won't happen.
But
Cowboys
imagine.
lost to the Cardinals.
That's true. The Chiefs lost to the Lions.
Tennessee's
You
going
keep
to lose
saying
to
that
South
like the
Carolina.
Lions
this
are
week.
mad, dude. Tennessee's losing.
Whoa.
Tennessee is
Whoa.
going to lose to South Carolina.
God. Thanks for listening, guys. See you next week.